kings and queens.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, yes, that was my cue right there. All right, 20 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Let me tell you how we do the show, how Robin and I set up for the show. Robin prepares everything the day before, and then in the morning, I have all the books that we're going to talk about just waiting for me right here with little notes about everything, right? This morning I came in and I said, oh my gosh, look at this book. It's the Atlas of World War II. It's produced by National Geographic, and you know they always do a great job. And so one of the first things we said this morning was, we were talking about the book. Well, this is the time of the day when we get to talk to Amy Briggs. She's the executive editor of National Geographic History magazine. And at the end of this short interview, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to ask you, listeners, to call in. And one of you, I'll pick one at random, you'll get this book. It's a beautiful book. And if you're World War II, if you have any interest in World War II, you will love this book. So many things that I thought I knew, I didn't know. And some of the things I didn't realize I didn't know are in the book also. Amy, good morning. What an honor to have you on our show.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
You guys do such a great job. Everything we get from National Geographic just knocks it out of the ballpark.
Oh, thank you. The team who worked on this book is just top notch.
Do you know, Robin and I play music, and we play music usually at nursing homes, which means you're never going to see us in Radio City Music Hall, okay? But you never know. Maybe we will. But anyway, the point is, when we started doing that years ago, we had a song called Lily Marlene, and you could always tell the World War II vets, because these are men who looked really hardened, and they would cry for that song for some reason. And now when we go, it doesn't happen anymore, because you know what? They're pretty much gone.
Yeah.
So for anybody who has a father and uncle who's served in World War II, you're going to love this, and you're going to know the contribution that, I think it was Tom Brokaw that named them the Greatest Generation, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know?
Yes, it was.
Amy? Yeah. And this book really illustrates why that title is so appropriate.
And it does such a fabulous job of telling the whole story of World War II and really getting it from the top, the big names, the generals, the leaders, but also down to the people who were on the ground, the men and women in the resistance, the soldiers, everybody who was coming together to fight against evil. I mean, it's really a compelling, immersive, and dramatic story. And we tell it the way National Geographic tells it, through great photography and great maps.
I really enjoy the part where it says, "We are American," across the front of the building, and then you have a Japanese couple in their story. Mm-hmm.
You get the full sense of what the experience was like for Americans and Europeans and Asians at the time, like just regular people who were going through this unbelievably traumatic event. I mean, the world was literally turned upside down.
This was the most disgusting. I don't know. The Nazis were so disgusting. I mean, I'm looking at some pictures right now. They would force all the people there, the Jewish people that were going to kill, to strip naked. I'm looking at this picture right here. This is horrible. I don't even think I knew this part of the story. Wow, it looks like all these women look like some of them are still alive, and this guy's just picking them off with a gun one by one. Oh my gosh, how could they live with themselves?
It boggles the mind. And the book does not shy away, as you found, from the more disturbing aspects of the war. Yeah. And this was war, and there were horrors perpetrated all over the world. And you do get to see that through the photography. And it brings it to life in a way that I just can't. The words alone just won't do.
And there are some maps in there that had to be hidden, like how tiny, tiny, tiny in buttons, in little compass points and things like that. I just found that fascinating.
That's one of my favorite pages in the book, the escape maps for the downed airmen. Mm-hmm. So they have, if you were an airman, you were shot down behind enemy lines, you had these maps that showed where, okay, the Germans are here, like the friendly places you need to go to get away, but they had compasses that they had to hide, and those are the ones that are in the buttons. The one that is my favorite, it's in a pipe stem, and it looks like it's an M&M. It's teeny, teeny, teeny.
Wow.
But these compasses were their lifeline. This is the way that they were going to find their way home.
Wow. Again, you guys did such a great job, but the story that is told in this book is so disturbing, and you have to feel proud to be an American, knowing that the Allies were the ones who put this to rest, so that we didn't have to live under this kind of a leadership. Can you imagine if they won? Oh my gosh.
I know. And the thing that you realize, too, in reading the book, with the Allies, like, again, you have the names, you have the Churchill, you have the FDR, but you see the men and women on the ground from all different countries, diverse backgrounds, all coming together to fight against this. It's really inspirational.
And the detail in all of the maps, how were you able to get so many maps with such detail?
So that is the National Geographic cartographer, Greg Ujansky. He is he's such a gem, such a treasure when it comes to creating maps. The amount of research and time and effort and care that he put into creating these maps, there are more than 100 of them, where he was taking the historical maps, the historical research, and then combining it with the latest and greatest in cartography and GPS to give you the most accurate depiction of all of these battles and what really went on the ground and in the air during the fight.
Amy, in the corner on the cover, it says Official Book of the International Museum of World War II. Where's that? Where's that museum?
That museum is in Boston, and we partnered with them on this book. They gave our editor, Neil Kagan, access to their collections. So a lot of the archives, or a lot of the artifacts that you're seeing in this book come from their collections. So Neil has a real gift for going into private collections and museums and your grandfather's attic and finding the treasures and then bringing them into a book. He's just got a gift.
You know, I didn't live through those years, obviously, but can you imagine the war is over in Europe, but we still got the Pacific Ocean to deal with? Can you imagine? It wasn't even over when it felt like it was over.
Yeah, the book really covers the Pacific Front in a way that I've not seen before, where you get a real sense of what Japan was doing when they were trying to expand their empire. And it's not just, they attacked the United States just because. You get a real sense of what was the motivation behind it,
right.
How Pearl Harbor was part of a much larger coordinated attack. It gives you a better sense of perspective of what was going on with Japan.
This is the kind of book that some people will deny the Holocaust happened, some people will deny the bombings, but you look at a book like this with all different perspectives from the different cultures, there is no way that you can think that this never happened.
Absolutely. You know, the map of the extermination camps and the concentration camps is just, it's so somber. It's so sad. Like you were saying, I can't comprehend that kind of evil, and yet there it is.
I know. I just hope we never have that on this planet again. Or if we do, that the world at large puts it to rest a lot quicker than it took for this one to end. Let me give this one away. I promised at the beginning of the day that I would do this. So call me right now, 622-9622. I only have one, so the rest of us have to go buy it. But if you call me, I pick your name, your number, whatever, the thing that pops up on the screen, then you get this one. Do you want to give us a website? I found that on Amazon, so I know it's there.
It's available on Amazon. It's also available at nationalgeographic.com in our store and wherever books are sold. So if you want to go to your local bookstore and pick it up, it should be there. It went on sale this week. And if not, I'm sure your local bookstore would be happy to order it for you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amy, for being on the air with us today. Let me just real quickly give this one away. Good morning. I picked your number. Who's this?
Good morning. I love history like you. This is Gene.
You got it, Gene. They'll be waiting for you.
Oh, boy.
Amy, thank you so much for being on the air and for doing this.
Thank you. And congratulations, Gene. Enjoy your book.
We'll be right back.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. 59 deaths are confirmed in the wildfires burning in California, 56 of those in the Camp Fire in the northern part of the state. CAL FIRE spokesman Steve Kaufman says that fire has grown to
138,000 acres, 35% contained.
This man says he's just happy to have his family with him.
It's nice because we're a lot closer right now, and we're spending more time together for sure, you know.
More than 8,600 homes have been destroyed in and around the town of Paradise, California. There are indictments now in the murder of the Saudi Arabian journalist Jamal Khashoggi in Turkey.
The Saudi chief prosecutor has announced the indictment of 11 suspects, recommending 5 face the death penalty.